Well, hello there. How is everybody this week? So far this month, we've been talking about relationship conflict. So we've talked about how to identify if you're in a toxic relationship. Sometimes it's hard to see it when you're on the inside. We've talked about different types of relationships and which ones seem to work best. And that number one, remember that 5-to-1 ratio? If you saw that one on types of relationships, definitely the most important takeaway is getting that 5-to-1 positive to negative ratio, um, in your everyday life. When you're interacting with your partner or anybody in a relationship. And then we talked about your energetic stress styles, which is your sort of go-to way of dealing with stress. And it doesn't mean that one is better than another. It's just really important to understand these styles so that we can understand how we, reason why we respond the way we do, and why our partners or anybody that we're in a relationship with, our kids, our parents, family, friends, coworkers, whoever, why they're responding the way they do. And by knowing how these styles work, being able to shut that conflict down faster. So today and next week, what I thought we'd do is to start getting into, how can what are some types of things that we can do to really diffuse conflict, to really help those relationships to be working better in our lives. So before we get to that, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nancy Brooker. I'm a relationship and stress coach. I help women who are stuck in a challenging relationship to really get clear about what's keeping them stuck, what's challenging them, what's stopping them from moving forward, and together we find ways to just bring more joy and calm and clarity and ease into your relationships, so that they're more fun. You can just have more fun in life. So let's get to it. 3 tips today for you. Tip number 1 is to be curious and to ask clarifying questions. Do you remember that game, and I might be dating myself, from when I was a kid, telephone, where one person whispers in the next person's ear, and they just keep going along down the line until the message at the end doesn't sound anything like the message at the beginning? Remember that game? You know what? That can happen even when you cut out those middlemen. Something gets said and it gets interpreted completely different from how it was meant, or the purpose of that communication in the first place. So it's really important to ask clarifying questions. So when your partner says, "I can't believe you booked dinner with whoever again," they could mean they don't want to see those people. They could mean they're worried about finances. They could mean they've had a really hard week and they're just really tired and want to stay home. They could mean that they were looking forward to spending time with you. And now they don't have that time, that precious time with you anymore. And I'm sure that you could add and add and add to that list. There's a million different things that could mean. But unless we ask those clarifying questions and checking for understanding, we may never get the right communication. We might not make the right interpretation. So before that even escalates to an argument, ask clarifying questions so that you really know what's going on. Tip number 2 is, of course, to listen with empathy, right? Because what we really want to do is we want to understand our partners, or whoever that person is, their point of view. You don't want to listen with your expectation of what everything means or what should be happening, or your feelings on the subject. You want to really sort of put yourself in the other person's shoes, and how are they feeling? What are they? Where is their mind going? What are they thinking? Remember that old adage, never assume. It makes an ass out of you and me. So that's really important in relationships. You don't want to assume anything. So again, asking those clarifying questions and just really listening with empathy and understanding, really trying to get at the root from what is being said. And the last tip, so simple, just expressing gratitude and appreciation. Sometimes I think as humans, I know as humans, we're actually sort of wired to really focus in on the negative more than we are on the positive, because The focusing in on the positive never really hurt anybody, but not focusing in on the negative can have certain ramifications. So and that's just, we're wired that way. That's just from our caveman days that's come in. But it's really important, all of the long-term studies on around gratitude and how important that is, gratitude and appreciation. We're actually going to talk about that in one of the upcoming months. It just, the more appreciative you are, the more grateful you are, the happier you are. It's just, that's the end of the day. The happier you are, you have more energy, you have more success at work, you perform better, you sleep better, you have a better sense of your physical well-being. You even can recover faster from illness and surgery and that sort of things. Like gratitude, it really changes you. It changes how your brain works. It changes how you see things. So really, really focusing in on what you're grateful for could be a game changer for your relationship. And just a little bonus tip at the end, when you're in conflict with somebody and you just don't seem to be getting anywhere, it's really important to just take a time out, take a break. Of course, in a loving way, not by screaming like, I can't take this anymore, I'm leaving, but by maybe having a safe word. That just means, okay, I just need to have a bit of time to myself to calm myself down. Go for a walk, have a cup of tea, do some tapping, do whatever. Go get out in nature, see the trees, whatever is calm and supportive for you, so that when you come back together, you can speak in a calm and supportive way. So that's it for me for today. Remember, ask those clarifying questions, listen with empathy, and make sure you express gratitude for that other person. And take a break if you need to, so you can ground and center yourself, so that you show up as a better person when you are having that interaction. So thanks for listening in. We'll have some more tips next week for how to sort of navigate those conflicts. And I would love to hear from you. If you have anything you'd like to learn about, that you'd like me to talk about, please let me know. Come join me on my Facebook page, Living in Yes, and make sure you pick up your freebies down below. So if you could use some support in your challenging relationship, please do connect with that too. Or if you're stressed out, we do lots of work on stress management, resilience, that sort of thing. So love to hear from you. Take good care. Bye now.